What it do, vinyl community? Welcome to the Fluffy Records YouTube channel. My name is Brian, that's B-R-I-A-N, and this is Vinyl Finds number 11. First Vinyl Finds video of 2024. Hopefully you guys have been having a wonderful start of the year, 2024, and hopefully you guys have been finding some great records into the year. I sure have. I've hit up a great number of stores and have found some heat. But today I'm just going to be showing you some of the heat that I found. And yeah, so enough yapping. Let's get right into the video. So I have a couple here that I found on New Year's Eve at Amoeba. The majority of these are Amoeba finds. And I just want to start off with the first few that I found on New Year's Eve. I know I'm cheating a little bit, but it's whatever. Anyways, went to Amoeba on New Year's Eve with my family. I think it's my family's first time at Amoeba, so it was just a fun experience. Didn't get to stay there for a long time. Was there maybe about like 30 minutes or less. And so I hit up the new arrivals in the jazz bins. Here are a few records that I found in the jazz bins. Starting off with two Muse records. Found these sealed. First one that I found sealed, I didn't think it was an original press. I thought it was a reissue, but turns out I think this was only pressed once, I think. This is Jackie Biard, Family Man. This was sealed. Got this one for a fair price. This is cheap heat, but because it was sealed, I think it was priced a little high, but not too much of what it's going for. Anyways, wonderful lineup. Jackie Biard on piano, tenor saxophone, and alto sax. Major Hawley on bass, tuba, and Fender bass. Warren Smith on drums, timpani, and vibraphone, and J.R. Mitchell on drums. Right? Yeah, drums. This one is a 1978 recording, and it is just fantastic. I loved the rendition of Moon Indigo / Chelsea Bridge melody. Is it medley or melody? Medley, not melody. Okay. Anyways, it's the first one that I found, and while I was looking, I guess someone had dropped off a ton of like sealed Muse. This is my favorite of the bunch that I'm going to show in terms of Muse. This is Ricky Ford Interpretations. Love this one. This was honestly a blind buy for me. Didn't know this was on Muse, but another one where I thought this was a reissue, but then I saw the stickers and I was like, I don't know. Then it clicked in my head that someone had dropped off a ton of sealed Muse. But not only do I like this one because of the music, but this is also Van Gelder stamped. I'm not sure if you'll notice it on video, but there's a Van Gelder stamp. Rudy Van Gelder did this one. And I mean, even if this is digitally recorded, which I'm not sure if it is, it sounds excellent. I have no complaints about these Muse records that I found, and the music on here is just really, really excellent. So you have Ricky Ford on tenor saxophone, John Hicks on piano, Walter Booker on bass, Jimmy Cobb on drums, Wallace Roney on trumpet, and Robert Watson on alto saxophone. Done in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey, 1982. Another great find. Only picked up 4 titles on New Year's Eve, but really, really happy. This is the second one. So those were the 2 Muse records that I found. This next one, another one that I thought was a reissue until I felt the cover. And I just couldn't believe this one was here. But this is a Prestige title that I found. This is Smooth Sailing, Arn Cobb. I think this one came out in 1958. I could be mistaken, but Prestige, really wonderful cover. I knew this was a early press or maybe original when I saw the stamp, but this was only priced like, I think 20. I think it goes for less online, but still, when I saw this, I knew I couldn't pass on it. Arn Cobb here on tenor sax, and he's accompanied by Buster Cooper on trombone, Austin Mitchell on organ, George Duvivier on bass, and O.Z. Johnson on drums. Just a unique lineup, in my opinion. I'm not too familiar with some of these, but there's organ on here, and it sounds fantastic. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this record online, but I've been spinning this one so much. And this is a pretty clean vinyl. And of course it has RBG on the dead wax. And yeah, this is the 203 South Washington Avenue Bergenfield address. So it's still really, really great. Really, really happy to have found this. And the last pickup from New Year's Eve was a record that I had seen before at Amoeba, and I guess they placed it in the jazz bins. They had it in the, they have a like fresh used vinyl on the stage in the back of their store, but anyways, I knew I had to get this when I was there. Been wanting more Freddy Hubbard on Atlantic. This is Freddy Hubbard. Sing Me a Song of Song Me. Not sure. This is smoking record. I've only listened to this once before I bought the vinyl, and then when I brought it home, I just couldn't stop listening to it. I think this is right up my alley of like tunes in that I enjoy in the 70s. This is 1971, but yeah, Freddy Hubbard is with a lot of musicians on here, and I think there's also vocals if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there is. But the second Freddy Hubbard on Atlantic. In a previous video, I showed Freddy Hubbard's Black Angel, and I got that one for a really great deal. Got this one for a great deal as well. It's on that Atlantic. I think this is considered the Broadway label. I'm not sure, but yeah. I haven't checked online if this is worth anything, but really great sounding. One of my favorite Freddy Hubbard records I have in my collection. So those were the 4 New Year's Eve finds. So then after that, 2024, I think the first shop that I hit up was Angel City Books and Records. Hadn't been there since probably October, November, somewhere around that time. They had a few good titles, but not some that I didn't want to bring home. So there was one, and I think the FOMO kicked in me that made me want to get this. I haven't spun it yet, but I'm happy to have it. And then when I went to Amoeba, like after, I had seen it. But anyways, this is my first record of 2024 that I purchased. This is the Oppenheimer soundtrack. Music by Ludwig Göransson. This is a 3 LP disc, and I can't wait to spin this. I've already seen the movie. I've already listened to the soundtrack before buying the vinyl, so I know what I'm gonna hear. But in terms of how it sounds sonically, I hope it sounds great. I hope it sounds fantastic, actually. But yeah, this is really, really happy to have found this at Angel City. It was priced a little high, and then the owner of the store was generous enough to give me a discount. I think it was like $30 off. Shout outs to Rocco, always kind. But yeah, that was the first record that I got at of the year. Surprisingly, not a jazz record, right? But anyways, we move forward to the Amoeba finds. I went to Amoeba a few days later and found a awesome stack. So starting off with the 10-inch as usual. This is on Pacific Jazz, and this is one I didn't know really that existed, but when I saw it, I had to get it. This is Laurindo Almeida with a quartet featuring Bud Shank. And yeah, Pacific Jazz. I believe Laurindo Almeida is a Brazilian musician, and this is like not your typical jazz on Pacific Jazz. This has a lot of elements of like Latin or Brazilian type thing that they were going with this record or with the session. Still wonderful, but not my favorite Pacific Jazz release. But nevertheless, I'm really, really happy to have this. Bud Shank is on here, actually. Laurinda Almeida plays concert guitar. Bud Shank alto sax, Harry Babassin on bass, and Roy Hart on drums. And yeah, this is the back side. They had some session photos. Wonderful stuff. Surprisingly, I didn't come home with like a stack of 10 inches that I usually, that usually happens when I go to Amoeba. But anyways, moving forward to the next record, which happens to be another Muse record that I found sealed. I guess I didn't see everything because when I went back, I saw a couple more Muse sealed, and decided to just pick one up because of the number of records that I picked up that day and showing you for this video. But this is David Fathead Newman Resurgence on Muse. This is 1981. This one is slightly warped, but I knew what I was gonna get myself into when I bought these sealed. The others were perfectly fine, but this is the one that, I guess had bad luck. And might as well tear the shrink off, right? So I kind of waited to make this video and to be able to take the shrink off, and look how nice that looks. But anyways, here's the lineup right there. David Fathead Newman on soprano, alto, and tenor saxophones, as well as flute. Marcus Belgrave on trumpet and flugelhorn. Ted Dunbar on guitar, Cedar Walton on piano and electric piano, Buster Williams on bass, and Louis Hayes on drums. Some great music on here. I'm trying to get more into Dave Fathead Newman. There's this one title that I want on Atlantic, and yeah, anyways, happy to have more Muse titles. That was my goal for this year, to get more Muse, or not new, but more Muse records, and super clean, and it's cheap. I mean, not all Muse records are cheap, but most of them are, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, really, really happy. So next up, another label that I'm trying to get into is ECM. And the first time I showed an ECM record was not that long ago, actually, maybe a few videos back, or maybe it was the first or the last video that's on the channel. But anyways, got another ECM title. These next few records are that I got under $10. So starting off with this one, ECM. This is Gary Burton Quartet. And yeah, on ECM, my first ECM record was a Gary Burton record, and I had forgotten that I got a Gary Burton record. So when I got this one, I was like, I'm gonna get it. Not because I saw the name Gary Burton, but because I saw it was an ECM record, and you know, under $10, I thought this was one to take home. So 1985. It does say digital recording, but it still sounds fantastic. And the lineup here is just wonderful. I love this. This is contemporary music, or contemporary jazz. Anyways, Gary Burton on vibes and marimba, Makoto Ozone on piano, Steve Swallow on bass guitar, and Mike Hyman on drums. They do a couple Carla Bley tunes, as well as John Schofield, Duke Ellington, and there's also a Steve Swallow tune that they do, and I just really, really enjoy. I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for more ECM. You know, I'm pretty sure they're not hard to find, so yeah, it shouldn't be, you know, troubling to find them, at least here in LA. Comment down below if your local stores also have, like, if ECM titles are accessible in your area. So curious about that. This next one is on Atlantic. This is cheap. This is a promo. This is Original Sin or music for ballet composed by John Lewis. This one took me by surprise. I got this one as a blind buy, and it was really cheap. This is a white label promo. I have been wanting to get more John Lewis on Atlantic, especially the modern jazz quartet stuff, but you know, for an affordable price. This one is a very interesting one, because I knew this was going to be not your typical jazz. This is more like this is like jazz but with strings, like an orchestra. And it really reminds me of a Ken McIntyre record that I have that's on United Artists. It sort of gave me that vibe, and I really, really enjoy it. I'm not saying I hate this record or anything, but I sort of want to get more of what this has to offer. You know, this is one that's like, not sure if this is for everyone, but maybe because it's on Atlantic, or maybe because it's John Lewis, maybe people would buy it. But super clean record. And yeah, I can't remember the name of the Ken McIntyre record. I think it's actually I can't remember. Anyways, it's on United Artists. I posted it on Instagram before. Moving forward, another Atlantic record. This is Billy Cobham, Spectrum. This one hadn't listened to much, but I see a lot of people post it on social media, and I think this has gotten a reissue recently, if I'm not mistaken. But this was under $10. Decided to get it. The cover does have some ring wear, but I don't mind it because I looked at the wax and it looks fantastic and it plays really, really well. But yeah, this is more this is more jazz fusion, jazz funk / jazz rock. The first tune on here I want to get used to it more. But other than that, when they really get into that jazz vibe, I enjoy. But this features Ron Carter and Joe Farrell, as well as Ray Barretto. But there's a ton of musicians on here, and this was. It says here 1973. I'm not sure if this was released in 73. But anyways, this is one that I found for cheap and happy to have. I don't have many records that have Billy Cobham, I don't think. But like I said, I've more this year been wanting more Atlantic, more ECM, Muse, ESP, and maybe I'm missing a few more, but yeah, anyways, this is the label. Really, really nice. The next record actually features Billy Cobham, and it's on CTI. The next record is George Benson record. This was a blind buy for me, and again under $10. So I picked it up. Been wanting more CTI. This is George Benson, White Rabbit. Not sure what's going on with the cover. Sort of freaks me out, but the music on here is not that bad. I think they do a lot of covers maybe, but in terms of the subgenre, it's like Latin / Latin. I wouldn't say bossa nova. And I really dig the jacket, the inside of the gatefold jacket. I thought this was really cool. Talks about ordering a custom color print. Didn't know they did that on CTI. Anyways, a lot of musicians, but most notably Herbie Hancock, Ron Carter, Hubert Laws, Airto, Jay Berlinger, Earl Klugh, and Billy Cobham. Airto does some vocals on here, and I think it's pretty cool, but these CTIs don't disappoint in terms of the sonics, how it sounds, and of course this is a Van Gelder stamp, so yeah, it sounds really, really good, and really clean copy, so yeah, can't complain here. The next one is another Van Gelder stamp, but this time on Verve, and been wanting this one for a while now, and this is a great sounding copy that I have here. This is Kenny Burell, Guitar Forms. arranged and conducted by Gil Evans. This is a mono press of this record, and it sounds beautiful. I really like this one. I think Kenny Burell plays acoustic guitar, not just his electric, but there's a lot of great cats playing on here. Ron Carter on bass, Elvin Jones and Charlie Persip on drums. Who do we have here? Jimmy Cleveland and Jimmy Nepper on trombones. Johnny Coles on trumpet. I mean, pretty sure this is a cheap record to find out in the wild. And yeah, maybe not for everyone. This is another instance where they play like Latin / bossa nova, but it's still killer. And of course, it's on Verve, so it's gonna be cheap. Yeah, I have a few Verve records, but I don't take them out as much as I feel like I should. I have like a few like Jimmy Smith and Wes Montgomery, but I think it's been maybe 2+ years since I've listened to them, so now that I think about it, I need to spin some more Verve records. Anyways, this next one, I can't believe I found. This is on Milestone. This was like $9. Sonny Rollins' next album, and I have also been wanting more Milestone records, and when I saw this one, I didn't even check the condition of the wax. I just took it. I just had a gut feeling that this was going to be in great shape, and it is. So Sonny Rollins' next album, this was 1972. From what I've read, I think Sonny Rollins was on like a 6-year hiatus prior to this release. He hadn't like recorded any studio albums or live stuff, I don't think, but yeah, his I guess first album back after 6 years was this one, and sounds really great. Sonny Rollins plays not only tenor but soprano sax. He plays soprano sax on a tune called Poinciana. I think that's what the name is called of the tune. Anyways, you have George Cables on electric piano and piano, Bob Cranshaw on bass and electric bass, Jack DeJohnette or David Lee on drums, and Arthur Jenkins on conga, drums, and percussion. So this was really great. I had forgotten there was a Sonny Rollins on Milestone. I think there's a few more. I'm not sure. And like I said, at the store at Amoeba, I did not check the condition of the wax. When I came home, I didn't even know this was a promo copy. But yeah, just happy to have this, and really clean and sounds great. Anyways, the next record, I decided to get a new release. Well, this one came out, I think, last year, 2023. If I'm not mistaken. I had seen this at Amoeba when I went last year, and I don't know, it looked interesting to me. This was a blind buy for me, and I'm not disappointed that I got it. So this is Use of Days, Black Classical Music. This is a 2-disc on white vinyl. And yeah, it's a very interesting album. It has a variety of like genres within each tune, and if you're into that, I think you're gonna love this. I like it, but I think side B for me is sort of meh. I'm not really digging it, but everything else I really enjoy. I think there's another Use of Days record that's coming out soon, or maybe it's already out, I'm not sure. But this is one that I'm happy to have. And I'm probably gonna check out more Use of Days. I think he's only like 30 years old. He's a young cat, and from England, I think. But really dig his drums, really dig the music on here. Like I said, side B, I think it's side B. It's one of the sides where it has like a lot of talking, especially with like the kids, or with the kid, that I'm not digging too much. But anyways, there's also like a standard black vinyl release, and I think just this one as well. But I've seen some copies. I think there's copies available online. It's not hard to pick up. So, but I'm saying, like, maybe stream this before purchasing it. If you're into buying new stuff. But anyways, this is Black Classical Music by Use of Days. So these last two, I can't believe I found. This next one, in terms of the label, I've mentioned, been wanting to get more on this label. And when I first saw this record, I thought it was perhaps, it was like a new reissue of this record, because Amoeba tends to like have a ton of new reissues of like titles from Blue Note, from Prestige, from ESP, etc., Riverside. Anyways, this is on ESP. I can't believe I found this. I'm happy to have this one checked off my want list. This is the Heliocentric Worlds of Sun Ra on ESP. And yeah, this is, I really, really, really dig this. And I didn't check the matrix until I came home, and this happens to be a Plastilite pressing. So happy to bring this home. And honestly, this sounds great. I have been wanting this for, I think, 2 years now. My local shop, High Fidelity, had this at their shop, and I had wanted it, but I think at the time I was like going after other records, and so by the time I think I wanted this, I was gonna get it there, it had sold. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll find this on eBay, Discogs, secondary market, or maybe I'll find it locally, or at the stores. Anyways, I had seen this and I snatched it. Sun Ra with Sun Ra on piano and tuned bongos, Marshall Allen on alto sax, piccolo, and flute, Pat Patrick on baritone sax, Walter Miller on trumpet, John Gilmore on tenor sax, Robert Cummings on bass clarinet, Ronnie Boykins on bass, Roger blank on percussion. And then it says other percussive instruments played by Pat Patrick, John Gilmore, Marshall Allen, and Robert Cummings. Yeah, just a really nice, really nice to have this. I think I only paid $20 for this, which I don't know if that seems like a lot or a deal, but anyways, happy to have this. The last record that I found, or rather brought home, I think this is the best for last. Another instance where I thought this was a reissue. But then I noticed that it was, you typically, Amoeba will have used records, or like at least the $20 to $30 ones, in a outer sleeve, and they'll tape it, and then they'll just write like the information of the record, if it's like a reissue or the condition. So for this matter, this record had that, and it's a Blue Note title. Picked this one up for under $40. I think it was like 35, 39, something like that. This is another one that I crossed off the checklist. This is Hank Mobley. Hank Mobley, High Voltage, original stereo. And it originally came out on the Liberty label. And yeah, I knew I had to bring this one home. Just a beautiful, beautiful cover, condition-wise. And I love the lineup here. You have Blue Mitchell on trumpet, Jackie McLean on alto sax, Hank Mobley on tenor sax, John Hicks on piano, Bob Cranshaw on bass, and Billy Higgins on drums. And then all compositions by Hank Mobley. This is a good one. Really dig this. Notice that this one has gone up in price. There were instances, I think last year, where I was close to pulling the trigger and getting this, but I don't know, something told me that to just wait, and I'm glad that moment came, because now I have this, and yeah, this is another Van Gelder stamped, and yeah, spun this one last night at the time of this recording. Absolutely killer. Anyways, that is it for this Vinyl Finds video. If you stuck around this far, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Comment down below which titles you guys have, or if any of these titles that you have are on your want list. And of course, comment down below what records you found this year so far. If you haven't subscribe, please. I truly appreciate it. Or just leave a like. Appreciate that as well. But again, like I said in the beginning of this video, more heat to come. This is just a small stack of what I have bought so far of 2024. So be on the lookout. And yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys on the next one. Take care.